Please note that e-prescribing, or the transmitting of prescriptions, is a pilot project for ED and hospice providers. Once we understand the function of this system better, we'll open this up to other types of providers. In the meantime, we appreciate your patience. In this video, I'd like to show you how to print and transmit prescriptions. For sake of the demonstration, I've already completed the medication reconciliation, and this has taken us to the discharge session summary. We see here the medications that I've reconciled, including 2 medications which I'm renewing, a controlled substance, OxyContin, and Zocor. The first step is for me to put in my PIN. I have 3 choices at the bottom. If I click on Return to Screen, it takes me back to reconciliation. If I hit Return or click on Save and Print Prescription, it takes me to the default option. Clicking on Save will simply save the reconciliation and allow me to print later. I'm going to hit Return. This takes me to the Print dialog box. At the top we see the preferred pharmacy. Please see separate educational material on how to edit preferred pharmacies. We see the 2 medications that need prescriptions, the Zocor and the OxyContin. The OxyContin is defaulted to print. In the state of Colorado at this time, we're not allowed to electronically prescribe controlled substances, so this will have to be printed. We do have a choice of actions on the Zocor. I click on the action box. I have 4 choices. If I called in the medication, I can choose call in. I can choose transmit if I'm going to electronically transmit the medication. Print will of course print a prescription, or I can choose none, which simply shows that I added the prescription to the patient's medication list, but that I did not actually create a prescription for the patient. I'm going to choose transmit. Now for the OxyContin, it has to be printed. It defaulted to the word print, but I have to choose the printer. I click on print, and then I choose print from the action box. Then I choose patient location. In this case, I'll choose the printer that has the RX designation. We're now ready to send these prescriptions. One will go to the printer, and one will be electronically transmitted. Remember that this medication will not be transmitted until you press the Finalize button on the discharge desktop. For the sake of demonstration, I've gone back to the Print dialog box. I want to show how you can find a different printer. Once again, I'll click on Print, and then choose Print. In the first example, I had chosen the patient location. You have a couple of other options. If you're in an area of the hospital such as the PACU, where each computer is set up to a single printer in the unit where you're working, you'll see the default options listed in this box here. On other occasions, you may want to choose a different prescription printer somewhere else in the hospital. In this case, you click on All. Now you do need to know the name of the printer where you want to print the prescription to. The name of the printer is labeled on the printer itself. Type in the name of that printer in this box here and choose that printer, and then hit OK. Again, I've returned to the Printer dialog box to show yet another function within the prescribing and transmitting of prescriptions. Sometimes we want to change the preferred pharmacy for the patient for just one prescription. Instead of editing the preferred pharmacy, I can apply a single time pharmacy here in this column. To do so, first I'll choose my action, Transmit. Then I'll click on the box in the pharmacy column. In this case, I'm looking for a Safeway pharmacy in Castle Rock. I click on Search, and I choose my Safeway pharmacy. I click Save. The computer will ask me whether I want to make it the preferred pharmacy for this patient. In this case, I say no. Now for this patient, this Zocor will be transmitted to the Safeway in Castle Rock, and not to the preferred pharmacy, Walgreens, in Denver. I have not changed the preferred pharmacy. I've already designated the printer for the OxyContin, and I click Save. I have to hit Finalize in order to have the e-prescription transmitted. This concludes the video on how to transmit and print prescriptions.